Welcome to your Daily Revolution podcast. Today's topic: most people will run out of gas. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Setema, Gali, the founder and creator of the Prosperity Revolution, a global movement that helps you to get out of scarcity and into prosperity every single day. A movement where people have value, things do not, where money is a result of helping people, where you're rewarded for creating value for others, and where prosperity is not the result of luck, but a predictable steps and formulas, and where happiness is the ultimate goal. What up, everyone? It's your boy, Setema Gali, the Reverend of the Revolution. Yes, a revolution of prosperity. And wherever you're listening to this podcast from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're going through a tough time, well, listen up, my friends. Today's topic of running out of gas comes from one of my mentors. It was a conversation we were having, and he was like, Setema, most people, they won't get there. Now, this mentor of mine hits it straight. Like, he's a straight shooter. He doesn't mince his words. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He says, yeah, most people are not creating themselves to be who they need to be. And now look, if you're listening to my podcast, this is about getting results. This is about becoming who you were born to become. The revolution is of prosperity and abundance and a person truly living up to their potential, blowing past their human potential and becoming the greatest, most powerful version of themselves. And so if that's not you, this is not the right podcast to listen to, because I'm going to hit you straight with it. And the mentor just said, most people aren't going to get there. They'll run out of gas. And it got me thinking on this concept of running out of gas. I've been here in Southern California for 6 years. Probably 2 to 3 times a year, we go to Utah. And one of those trips is usually a road trip because we're going to be there for at least a week. If it's a shorter trip, we just jump on a plane and fly up. Well, many times we've left our home in SoCal, and I know the route, right? Get to Vegas, it's about a 4.5 hour drive, gas up in Vegas. Get to Cedar City, which is about maybe 2 hours, 2 hours-ish. Use the bathroom, get the boys, get another treat, and then it's about 2.5 hours up to Utah County where we go. And, it's this trip that I've taken so many times. Like, look, and the reality is there's gas stations along the way, so it would be impossible for someone to run out of gas. Now, the challenge is that's a road trip, and there's gas stations along the way, and all you have to do is stop. As long as you've got a debit card, credit card, or cash, you put the gas, pump into your car, you fill your gas tank up. Now, for an entrepreneur, for a business owner, for someone who's wanting to better their life, for someone who's wanting to become a greater athlete, get to the next level in sports or in music or in business, it's not that easy. See, you must become the type of person that can handle the stress, the burden, the weight. And the way that you do that is to increase your power. Now, power, imagine power to charge a cell phone, the power to charge your home, power to light blocks or cities or even an entire coast. That power is generated from a power plant. That power plant does not have power. The power plant generates the power. And as an entrepreneur, as a modern day business owner, as someone who's wanting to create big things for their life, who's wanting to launch the book, a podcast, influence people, build a 7, 8, 9-figure juggernaut, be part of something special. The way to stop and fill your tank up is not as easy as just pulling your car over and recharging your Tesla or putting gasoline in it. It requires you to be so focused and to have real precision in how you live and how you keep your word. That would mean that everything you say you're going to do, you do. That would mean that when you set out to accomplish something and become the type of person that could create the results, that you do what's required. Too many people today are so addicted to social media because it gives them a dopamine. And how do I know this? I was that guy. And if you've paid any attention, which maybe you don't, maybe you do, it doesn't matter. I've pulled back from social media. It's amazing. I have a 20-minute limit on my phone. And I shot a podcast about this. It means that I don't want my time to be sucked away and stolen from me by these little dopamine hits and cute quotes that people post. And it just like scroll. And pretty soon, hours upon hours turn into hundreds of hours, turn into thousands of hours that have been stolen from you when you could have, in reality, developed, practiced, trained, rehearsed. When in fact, you could have become the type of person who could actually create and build something significant. So will you run out of gas? And if we take a look at the physical, spiritual, relational, financial, physically, build your body's capacity, build your stamina and endurance. How do you do that? Well, you work out. And as you're working out, you're going to hit a threshold of pain. And when you hit that threshold, instead of quitting, you do the work. Yesterday, I was doing jump rope with my wife. And I wanted to quit after it was a 30-minute workout with ladders, right? Time down and then up. And then there's a minute break and there's breaks in between. I wanted to quit. And I was like, dude, I can't do this. And I knew that it was just my lizard brain or the weakness inside of me wanting to stay alive. So as I'm jumping rope with my wife, I hit the threshold and then I pushed beyond it. We finished the workout. My body's sore. It was amazing though. Now, I wanted to quit because it got hard. Do you do that in the gym? Do you do that with yoga? Do you do that with your running? Do you do that in whatever you do physically? Do you even push your body? If you're not pushing your body right now, you're getting weaker and fatter and more out of shape, which means you're not going to get there. You're going to run out of gas. Spiritually, we live in a world that is so built on looks and materialism and worldliness and keeping up. Now, there's a balance here. There's nothing wrong with having really nice things. There's nothing wrong with having the lifestyle that you created. The thing you've got to be careful of is making sure that the most important things are the most important things, and that is not a thing. It's the people. It's your purpose. It's your path. It's your faith. It's your connection to God. It's really this spiritual domain, and it looks very different for everyone. My question to you is, do you have spiritual disciplines in your life? I was talking with a good friend of mine yesterday who's a brother, who's a friend, a past client, but really more of a mentor to me. And this man has been retired for almost 10 years. He doesn't have to work, but he works, but he is so guided by his God. He's guided by God. And he's spiritual and he's powerful. And we just had a conversation. 30 minutes with him it was life-changing for me. He starts every day by giving the Lord his best time. He starts in the Word and he prays and meditates. He's taking care of his body. In other words, he's got a spiritual capacity to do the work. Relationally, date nights, touching, connection, kissing, hugging, conversations, listening. Do you do that with your kids and with your spouse? Most people just kind of, go through the motions and really don't ever have a deep connection with their children and spouse. I challenge you to change that. And finally, financially, don't run out. Develop your skill sets, develop your mindset, develop your social capital and your intellectual capital and your spiritual, become the type of person who will not run out of gas, who can actually build the empire that you are supposed to build, that can actually fulfill your mission, the mission you were born to live, to fulfill, and to make a difference in the world. Don't run out of gas, my friends. Have an amazing day. I'm out.
Let's go! This is your daily revolution. Live in prosperity, we show you how to do it. There's no luck about it, we got the strategic blueprint. This is your daily revolution. You already know. And if you don't, then check my resume. Turning pressure into possibilities every day. We all can win and live our unique purpose. We change our mindsets and put the work in. This is your daily revolution. Your daily revolution. Revolution. Your daily revolution podcast.